Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was going to say it's the last Saturday. Well, no, it's not. I was going to say it's the last Saturday of the year, but we still have 2 to go. So never mind. We're not quite there yet. We're almost at the end, but not quite there yet. All right, good morning, everybody. I suggest, if you don't already have a notebook in front of you, that you grab one. For those of you that are just joining us or are not familiar with the show, this is the Saturday edition of the Coffee Chat Show, which has been going on since 2016, so we've been here for a long time. Good morning, Priscilla. Here on Saturday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then we put the show up and you can watch it later on, or you can listen to the podcast, and I'm going to start the audio before Tracy tells me to. So good morning. We are currently on Coffee Chat Show. We are working our way through John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. We are not following it to a T. However, we are using it as backup to what we're talking about every Saturday morning. Good morning, ladies. I see you all rolling in. So if you want to hear about laws 1 through 6, I suggest you go back 6 weeks and listen to episodes of the Coffee Chat Show. Good morning, Lynn Marie. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Luann. Also, if you're interested in a deeper conversation about what we talk about every Saturday morning. So Saturday morning is for the complete general public. It is live to the page, which has I have about 1.5 million people following my page, The Working Warrior Mom. So the show goes live there. If you want a deeper conversation with myself and a couple of our staff, then you can join the Warrior Mindset private Facebook group. Good morning, Kirsten. Good morning, everybody. The Warrior Mindset is a private Facebook group that is off of the Working Warrior Mom page. You got to answer some questions, and you have to agree to our rules of the group. So if you are interested, you can join that group, and we dig a little deeper into this material all throughout the week. That's also the place to find out if you want to work with me privately. I'm going to start doing that in 2023. If you want to have a message for me privately, things like that, you can always email me, but you can also talk to me directly in that group. So the law of design says you need a plan. And that's pretty much what it says. It takes a whole chapter to say that. Okay, so we're done. That's it. You need a plan. All right. No, seriously. This is something that we've been talking about. I've been doing this with you guys since 2016. We've been talking about this for a long time. Every year at the end of the year, I say, let's evaluate our year. Let's plan for the new year. Jasmine, good morning. I see you. So get out your notebook. And if you haven't started on a plan for 2023, that is your assignment over the next couple of weeks. Before you get into January 1st, you may want to ask yourself some questions about the year that we're leaving behind, such as what worked and what didn't work. What do you want to leave behind? What do you want to create fresh? What was your biggest win? What was your biggest blessings? What were your biggest lessons? And then do some kind of wrap up for yourself, right? Like list out some things about 2022 and then be at peace with that and consciously make an effort to just let it go. Whether you write a list and then you burn it, or you just throw it in the garbage, or you just be at peace with it, because this enables you to put that behind you and go forward into the future with a fresh, clean slate, right? Instead of doing a number on yourself like, oh, in 2022, I should have done more of this, and I should have done more of that, and I could have done this. And good morning, Liz. Nice to see all of you ladies that I haven't seen in a while. don't do that. Don't do the shoulda, coulda, woulda, because it's gone. What difference does it make? I was sitting at my desk 2 mornings ago just looking at, like, and feeling that same way. I was shoulda, coulda, woulda-ing on myself, and I highly do not recommend that. And I know better, and I still do it. So I'm really encouraging you to be at peace with what is done and get forward and look forward to what we're ready to create for 2023. And so now here's my $1 million question for you to ponder over until we're together again on New Year's Eve day. What's going to change? What's going to be different? That's the question of the morning. When you design your new life for 2023. And by the way, if you don't design a plan for 2023 and like create a strategy for all of the things that you want to see happen, if you don't have a growth plan, which is a little bit different than just flat goals, right? Because with a goal, it's like once the goal is done, then it's kind of like one and done, right? With a growth plan, it's more of a strategy. So you might have some short-term goals within your growth plan, like I'm going to take this course, I'm going to read this book, the whole term. That's one of the things I do like about this John Maxwell book is he's talking about a growth plan and making a plan, which is, keeps it ongoing, right? It's not just like a one and done deal. So growth plan versus listing out goals for 2023. And then inside your plan are goals and things that you want to do and things that you want to study, things that you want to watch, things that you want to be a part of. However, the overall pervading question, the way I see it, at least for myself, is what's going to be different? What's going to be different? If you want a different result, what are you going to do different every effing day that is going to bring you the different result? Because I have news. Sitting here on Saturday morning, 2 weeks before we get to the end of the year, and saying, I'm going to double my income, and I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and I'm going to be nicer to people, and I'm going to send handwritten thank you notes, and my life is going to change, and everything's going to be different. That's great. Awesome. What's going to change on the daily? One of the things that I liked about this chapter is he reiterates the point that your daily routine is what makes your life. Your daily habits is who you are. So that bears review, right? That bears like looking into to see, all right, what am I doing every day? Where do I want to go? Is where I want to go backed up by my daily routine? For instance, if I want to double my income, but I'm, not doing anything to forward my growth or my education or get a new job, or I'm just like stuck in the same old job and I keep complaining about it, and then I come home and I watch Lifetime TV, and then I'm eating a box of ring dings every day. Well, after I come home from work and my house is a mess and my car is a mess, I don't think anything different's going to happen there. I mean, you can have every good intention. If you don't back that intention up with some kind of action, it ain't going to happen. Just isn't. But you know how I know? Because been there, done that, and still to a certain extent do it in some cases. Have every good intention of keeping a clean desk and making a to-do list and doing all this stuff, and without a strategy that I am consciously employing on the daily, nothing changes. So my question to you is, what's going to be different? That, I think, is the most important point of our conversation this morning, is what is going to be different? What's going to change? What are you going to do different? What are you going to speak that's different? How are you going to behave that's different? if you don't change anything, if you don't do something different, and if you don't do something different consistently and on the daily, the results aren't going to change. They won't. I mean, I know that might be sad news for some of you, but it won't happen. So in the Law of Design, which is chapter 7 of this book, John Maxwell talks about creating strategies, and, making a plan, going over your year from before and deciding like what did you do that was effective? What did you do that was ineffective? It's all, again, the same stuff that we've been talking about for several years when you sit down to plan your new year. So I would really encourage you, first of all, there's some good resources in our free stuff. So if you go to thecoffeechatshow.com and you click free stuff, there are workbooks there from 2022 and 2021 and 2020. All you have to do is change the date to 2023. I did not create a new one for this year, and I apologize. I just didn't. I'm not even going to make an excuse. It just didn't happen. So there are tons of people that have these kind of end of the year workbooks. Lots of coaches and things like that have all kinds of free stuff. We have a fairly good one, that's downloadable, that we actually sold on Amazon in years past. And it asks all those questions like, what do you want to leave behind? What are your biggest blessings? What are your biggest lessons? Things like that. This is a good thing to do over the next several weeks, especially if things are a little slower for you between Christmas and New Year's. It's a great time to spend some time doing this. I'm going to do this. I have printed out a workbook that I like from someone, and I actually ordered another one online, which I actually think I might gift to somebody because I like the one that I printed out better. And I'm going to do this piece of work as well. And then I'm going to come up with my strategy for 2023. And I'm actually going to map it out on a big piece of paper. Where I want to go, what I want to get done. And then I'll back that up into small, attainable, like in January, I want this to happen, in February this, first quarter this, second quarter that, like that. So if you were going to build a house, you wouldn't build a house with no plan. If you have a business or you work for a business or you're a manager and someone came to you and said, I need you to create a new division or I need you to double the income for this division over the next year, you wouldn't just do that out your ass. You wouldn't do that by the seat of your pants. You would make a plan, right? Stevie's reminding me she's working on the WonderWorks workbook. The WonderWorks workbook is actually still for sale on Amazon. That one doesn't have a date. It's designed in the same way to be used at the end of the year. And you can find that one on Amazon. Still for sale. So I think it's like, I don't know, $12 or $13 or something. And it actually is in it's in like a workbook format. So if you're like me, if you'd rather hold something in your hand than print something out, that is still available on Amazon. And that is undated. It does not reference any particular year. So it behooves you to plan. You would not approach a huge project. And by the way, your life, is a huge project. So you wouldn't approach I hope you wouldn't approach a huge project with no plan. Please don't approach your life with no plan. If you don't plan 2023, life is just going to throw shit at you. And if you don't have some kind of navigation tool where you're looking at something every month, every week actually even, Jennifer Harvey's recommending that workbook, the WonderWorks workbook. She's used it. Thanks, Jen. Angie wants me to show how I do my plan. So, Angie, I take a notebook, just an empty notebook, and then I also take a pad of paper, Post-it, has these, hang on. Amazon has these. It's this pad of paper, right? And it can go anywhere, and it's like made by Post-its. You can stick it. So I actually have a big whiteboard in my office, and then I have this pad. So this year, I'm actually going to make a map. I'm going to write in my notebook. I'm going to look at, what worked and what didn't work, and what I wish I had done that I didn't do. And then I'm going to let go of that and just be okay with what was. I look at what are the biggest blessings of the year. I look at what are the biggest lessons. I think about what I want to forgive. And Farana is saying she visualizes her plan on a mood board and don't set limitations when you're planning. Absolutely. And absolutely back up your plan with a vision board. That's a great way to do it. It's a great way to do it. I have this huge, one of my whole walls in my office is a big bulletin board. And I actually have I have a vision board in a book, which I call an image book. And so I have that in those old photo albums. And so on those sticky pages, and I actually have a book that's like a moving vision board that I change all the time. And then I have a huge one here in my office on the wall, which I change from time to time as well. So I'm just looking at it to see if anything needs to be changed for the new year. Maybe so. Maybe it's time to change the board up a little bit. Without a plan, you are just at the mercy of what life is going to throw at you. If you don't have something to navigate you, you'll just be like a huge reaction all year long. You'll just things will come at you, and you'll have no anchor, and you'll have no rudder to steer you, because you'll just be bouncing off the wall. And, we'll be at this place next year, and you'll be looking at me saying, shit, I didn't make a plan. And the whole year kind of I don't even know what happened because I didn't even have a plan. Do not recommend that at all. Highly recommend creating a plan. And your plan is a living, breathing, moving thing. So you're going to write a whole bunch of stuff and make this plan hopefully in the next 2 weeks. And then when we meet again on New Year's Eve, you're going to be putting in the comments that you have made a plan. You're working on it. It's all good. And then, we'll get into January, and I'll say, have you guys reviewed your plan? And you'll go in there and you'll go, oh, I said I was going to do this in January, but now I see this shifted and I don't really want to do that, or I'm going to move this around. I thought I was going to do it in March, but I'm going to do it in April. So the whole idea here is this is like a working document. It's a living, breathing, working document. This is not a one and done. So this is why I recommend that you do it in a notebook or one of those, like a big journal, or honestly, I recommend something with spiral bound pages so you can flip back and forth, because I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of flipping, and there might be places where you want to tear a piece out because it's no longer relevant. That's a little harder to do when you're using a perfect bound journal. My biggest question, though, is what's going to be different? What's going to be different? What's going to change? I'm asking myself that same question. I am going to answer that question myself. What is going to be different? Because we can set every good intention and make every good plan and all of that, and then if we don't have a clear idea of what's going to change, nothing will change. Nothing will change. So what will be different? What will be different? What will you do differently? The first thing to do differently is make a plan, right? That's the first thing to do differently, is actually make a plan. Without a plan, you're just at the mercy of whatever the hell is going on. All right? So, the law of design, John Maxwell's seventh law, right? Strategies. Make a plan and then start creating some strategies that back up to said plan. A strategy is nothing more than, figuring out an action, a list of actions, a design of actions that you're actually going to do, and then do them. So we talked about consistency last week. This is designing. We've talked about habits. We've talked about knowing where you want to go, knowing how you want to grow. So these are excellent questions to be pondering over the next 2 weeks. John Maxwell has an excellent sort of idea for looking at the big picture in the back of this chapter, where he gives you some prompts about things you can be considering and looking at and thinking about. That's really all I have to give you this morning, truthfully. This is a piece of work that you have to do. And I can't do this for you. I'm going to do it for me. And I'm really going to put some time into it this year. I do it every year. And I feel like I want to see big changes in 2023. And the only way to make that happen is to really put some time into thinking about what they will be and what strategies I will use to get there, and what new habits I will create, and what will I have to do consistently every day to ensure that the difference that I want to see actually happens. That's the key. What has to change every day, or what will you change every day that is like your big flagship indicator that 2023 is going to be different? What's going to be the thing? What will be the new habit or the new practice or the thing that you add or the thing that you subtract? What's going to be different? What will be different every single day? What will be a consistently different action that you will take on the daily that will ensure that the changes that you want to see for 2023 will happen? If you would like to continue this conversation with us in the Facebook group, you are welcome to join us. It's Warrior Mindset. It is a private Facebook group off of the Working Warrior Mom page. I encourage you to join us if you want to really dig into these conversations and get some support on the stuff that we're talking about every Saturday morning. So we will not see you next week. We will see you on December 31st, which will be New Year's Eve morning. And I'm going to ask you if you made a plan. All right. So, you guys have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas. Sending all the love from Vermont. Snowed here last night. It's really pretty. Sponsoring a craft afternoon at the library, so I've got to leave here and go pick up things from the bakery and drop them off at the library. Really encouraging all of us to have an amazing holiday season and really work on this plan. So we will be dropping stuff into the group, and I may even surprise you and go live in the group next week. So if you want to see me next week, you can join the group, and I will put up a video, or maybe I'll just pop in and go live, give you guys some encouragement on the plan, or maybe we'll even do like a live session where I'm actually working on my plan and you guys can work on your plan as well. Maybe we'll do something like that. So if you want to be in on all that, you better join the group, the Warrior Mindset group. And then you better participate in there and check the posts, because that's where we'll be posting. If I'm going to pop a surprise workshop opportunity or give you a chance to work with me personally or any of those cool things, you're going to find it in that group. We are no longer dropping that stuff on the hugely public page. We're doing it in that private group. So maybe we'll have a working evening together, and we will work on our plans. That might be fun. In between Christmas and New Year's, before I see you again. Okay, guys, have a great week. We'll see you soon. Join the group if you want to learn more, or visit us at thecoffeechatshow.com. Bye.